So I will edit the name of the instance. One I will call it as admin, and the other one as load balancer. That's going to distribute the traffic to our master node. So the first thing I'm going to do is open an SSH between this instance. To make an SSH to this master, the first master node and second master node, we'll use the bastion host. And for the others one, we'll use Moboxterm because they already have a public IP address. So if we come here and check, they don't have public IP address, but for we have only private IP address. So before we connect to them, let me launch another instance as our worker node. Scroll down. And for the worker node, it does not matter if you give it only one CPU or two CPU. It does not matter. It's not like a master node. If for the master node, at least you need two vCPU. So make sure to, when you want to launch a master node, to choose one vCPU in the configuration. Sorry, two vCPUs in the configuration. Otherwise, the QBDM will be not able to be installed and configure the cluster on your master node. So configure the instance. This will be in the public or in the second public. Add storage, add a tag, add a security group, and then choose an existing security group. One, launch, and then launch that instance. Now I will try to connect to them one by one. I will choose the admin, open new session, admin, and load balancer. Our worker, and this is our bastion. So I will try to copy the private or the key pair to this instance so I can connect from it to our first master node, and they will use PuTTY to open this bastion to connect to my second master node. So pause the video until I copy that TP. So I have I have copied it here, right? And then it has the right it has many permissions. So if I use this file with this permission, it will not be allow me to authenticate to my master's node, because it will tell me that this file has many permissions. So I have to restrict the permission to the user of that of this file, right? So to restrict the permission, we use the change mode command, and then this 400 means that the 4 means read only for the user, and for the groups we will restrict the read, the write, and the execution, and the other 0 is for others people. Then we will restrict as well the read, the write, and the execution. So let me execute this command and see what's going to change. So as you can see, now I have restricted all the permissions from the group and the others, right? And as well the write permission. So this user is able only to read this file, right? Now we will type ssh-i and then name of the file, then ubuntu at, and then we'll come back here our instance and choose the private IP address of our master node. Come back here and paste that private IP address, say yes, and now I am able to get in that master node. So let me come back here and then here call it master 1 and save that. Another thing here is I want to connect to my second master node. For that I will open PuTTY and then I will connect to my bastion instance, and from that bastion I will connect to my second master node at, and then paste the IP address. Then we'll go to the SSH, we'll expand it, go to authentication, browse to a file that has an extension BB select it and open it. We'll hit open. Yes, now I'm able to connect to it. You can see I have already this file. So now what I'm going to do is ssh-i and the name of our file, then the username at, then our private IP address of the second master node, and then I will connect to it. So from my master node I will try to ping to see if my instance is connected to the internet. So as you can see that the ping does not work, means that my instance is not able to communicate with the outside. For that I have to enable it to communicate with the outside. For that I have to create a NAT and connect my instances to that NAT so they can communicate with it. For that I will come back to my VPC